today is Manish Bandlish, Managing Director of Mother Dairy, to talk about summer performance, shifting market dynamics, future expectations, and of course their latest Aai Jaisi Mumbai Mumbai-centric campaign that celebrates the city's spirit, which is like a mother and aims to connect more deeply with Mumbaikars. Manish, welcome to CNBC TV 18 again.
Thank you, Shibani.
Manish, we meet after a year. The last we spoke and the last time you were here was last summer. And this time you are introducing the Aai Jaisi campaign into the Western market, into Mumbai. Tell us more about it.
See, last year, if I go back, we had launched this Aai Jaisi campaign, which was a national campaign. And it got raving reviews. I mean, we got very, very good reviews from our customers. They really liked the campaign. It was a very emotive kind of a campaign, which also won a few awards. We also got the IFE award for that this year. Now, Western region for us is a very, very focused region, and we are coming up with multiple investments in Nagpur and other places. And Mumbai is a very, very prime market for us. And hence, we are just taking over from that particular campaign and localizing that to cater to a Mumbai situation. And Mumbai, as you know, has this Mumbai Devi and I already in the name. So we just try to, use that in our campaign. And Mumbai is a city which loves everybody and people are so loving. So we thought, why not?
Yeah, and nice usage of I for Aai Jaisi in the campaign for Mumbai. But having said that, since it has been more than a year since you launched Aai Jaisi campaign, what has been the impact of it on the brand perception of Mother Dairy?
See, overall, if you see last year, our organization did extremely well. We grew by almost 16% in terms of revenue. When I met you, we had done 15,000 odd crores. This time we are crossed 17,000 crores this year in terms of revenue, which has a great morale boosting, for our team. And is also coupled with one of the pillars of marketing, which is this campaign itself.
So already monsoons are here. Across the country, the monsoons are there. What has been the impact of this short-lived summer season on Mother Dairy?
So Mother Dairy has three businesses. One, we have a Dhara edible oil business.
Yes.
Second is the Safal, which is the fruits and vegetable business. And third is the dairy.
Yeah.
So we've not seen any major impact on Dhara. Actually, we are doing fairly well in terms of growth. Safal, we have a certain pulp, which is a fruit pulp business, which also feeds into the beverages business. So there, obviously, the demand would be tapered because if the mango-based drinks are not going to sell, then that lifts becomes a little challenge. Otherwise, we are doing extremely well on the other parts of the Safal business. For dairy, yes, summer-based products definitely are seeing an impact. And this is not only for us, but for the industry. Because unless and until there is a consistent high temperature for at least 10-15 days, people's pickup of ice creams, of the chaach and curd, goes a little lower than expectation. So as I see it, we had planned multitude of growth. That growth percentage will get a little less. And that's what we are seeing in our numbers also.
Yeah, you said 10% lesser than you expected this summer, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what we expect this season to go to. North is still seeing a up and down of summer. So we are seeing every week there's one storm which takes the temperature down. But we are still hoping that the summer will continue for some more time. But yes, monsoon, you don't know. It's been 10 days earlier in Mumbai. So maybe in Delhi also it will have some impact.
But you introduced 30 new flavors and varieties in both ice creams and yogurts, which are summer products.
Correct.
So what is the larger impact of these seasonal changes and shifts on the dairy business, and how do you brace yourself for all of these climatic changes that not just the India market but world over every other country is experiencing, with floods and cyclones and heat waves, wildfires, impacting many regions around the world? So how do you brace yourself for the impact of certain uncertainties and seasonal changes like these?
So when we make our annual plans, we make multiple plans around it. So one is the best case scenario where you have an extreme summer, and then we increase our capacities 1 year in advance. So this time we had anticipated basis the reports that summer is going to be extreme. So we had planned our capacities accordingly. But at the same time, when you see these kind of aberrations, we do a on the go change of our plans, you can say, because we are not something which is we don't store most of the categories to a very high extent except for ice cream. So every other category is almost a daily production. So it is not very difficult for us to change our sales plans or change our production plan accordingly. Definitely it has impacts on commodities in terms of we may have some extra commodities left over with us, but it's quite okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Because our organization is quite experienced in terms of handling these vagaries, and we have seen that year after year. Year before that also was very similar to this. 2 years back, we had a similar situation.
Yeah, yeah.
So on one end, it also helps us in terms of getting more milk, because when the temperatures are a little down, then larger amount of milk comes to you. So I think we'll balance it out. It's just a matter of 1 month. I'm sure the whole another 9 to 10 months are still left in front of us.
Yeah, and how does the rest of the year look like for Mother Dairy, for all the businesses, including Safal, Dairy and your oil?
So this year we had a vision of doing around 20,000 crores. A very ambitious target that we have taken for ourselves.
Yeah.
As of now, we are gunning for that. The team is really motivated to gun for that historical number for us.
Yeah.
And I think we will take it forward. The summer will have some impact, maybe 300, 400, 500 crores.
Yeah.
But I'm sure we have other categories where we'll pull it off.
Yeah.
We have multiple launches coming our way. And we are looking at multiple new opportunities of exports, for example.
Yeah.
In our multiple categories, we have started exports to Gulf very recently, just less than a year back. We're seeing very good results there. So there are multiple initiatives that we are taking which will cover some part of it.
And what is the new product and innovation pipeline going forward across across the oil and Safal and Mother Dairy?
Sure. So for example, for dairy, if I start with, very recently, just a month and a half back, we launched Pro Milk.
Yeah.
Pro Milk is nothing but a daily top-up of your protein intake.
Yeah.
And multiple studies, I'm sure you also know about it, have shown that protein intake in India is a big problem, especially for vegetarians.
Correct.
And due to which, while people don't realize, it has long-term impact. So we had a choice of launching a very specialized protein product which will have a taste impact for the consumers. What we said was, we need a product which is going to be used by everybody in the family. So this Pro Milk does not change your daily way of life. You can just change your milk from whatever you're consuming today to Pro Milk. It gives you the same taste or better. It gives you the same curd or better. It gives you the same properties of milk, and it has a healthy proteins from the milk source.
Yeah.
So it's almost as good as a fortified protein milk which can be topped up on a daily basis.
Yeah, yeah.
So this has got very good review in NCR,
Yeah.
which I'm sure in future months we will launch into other markets as well.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we had, as you said earlier, we've launched multiple ice creams in our portfolio. We're going to be launching very soon a raita or a charge variant of pudina, for example. Dhara, we just launched cold press kachi ghani mustard oil. We also launched Geer ghee very recently. Got very good reviews around that. Safal, for example, we are likely to go into a frozen range, which is going to expand that frozen range. So our insight for Safal has been that if you go to multiple markets, there are a lot of housewives and families who store at the time of the season in their fridges. If you open their freezer, you will find carrot, you will find peas, you will find many such commodities which they store for the off-season time.
Yeah.
And this is not only for people who are middle class or anything. I've seen every class of customer is storing that, and the household takes a lot of pride that, you see, I've stored it for the off-season. I'm able to feed you XYZ commodity or vegetable. So that insight we want to use now. We are working on that particular category.
Yeah.
Because we already have a frozen pea which was very innovative at that point of time.
Correct.
This category can become bigger for us.
Yeah.
We are launching multiple food processing packages for our export business. So a lot of exciting thing happening in Safal as well.
During the conversation, Manish, you also mentioned a number of reaching 20,000 crore by the end of the year. Where are you making your big bets? Where are you making those key investments to achieve and attain that goal going forward?
So for dairy, our big bet is to go beyond NCR. That
Yeah.
is one of the big pillars that we are doing. Our growth in non-NCR region is very, very, very great because I think in the past, we have not ventured out of Delhi NCR too much. We were in various markets, but now we are making an extra effort in that direction. Maharashtra is very, very strong ask for us as an organization. We are really investing a lot of time and energy, money in this state. So a new plant is coming up in Nagpur. We already have a Bhiwandi plant here. So we will be expanding sales and distribution for dairy in Maharashtra. We've just recently launched into southern region. We are launched into Rajasthan. So slowly and steadily, our big bet is to move pan-India on the dairy business. For Dhara, for example, again, while we are present in multiple geographies, we are investing behind the brand and new, let's say, packaging solution, marketing solution for the northern region. That is again a big strategic lever for us. Similarly, for Safal, I think the huge opportunity. We have not really touched the, let's say, even 10% of the expectation, or the brand has such a high value with the consumers. We want to tap that opportunity as well.
It is time for a short break. On the other side, we are catching up with cricketing icon AB de Villiers, who is now a brand partner of Sneaker Lab. And we also get you the highlights from this year's Marquee Nights. From 360-degree shots on field to 360-degree style of it, I'm catching up with one and only cricketing icon AB de Villiers, who's joining us. He's also now a brand partner for a South African sneaker care brand, Sneaker Lab, right here. AB, welcome to CNBC TV 18.
Thank you, Shibani. It's great to be here. Very exciting.
AB, so straight off the bat, what drew you to become like a brand partner for Sneaker Lab? How strong is your sneaker game?
I think it got a bit stronger over the years. Initially, not so good. Got my fashion sense from my mom, so we were a little bit behind the trends. Growing up in a small town just in the northern parts of South Africa, north of Pretoria, where I live now. I think what drew me to them is just the South African flavor, the passion that we have as South Africans. It's a proudly South African brand. And there was a lot of chemistry between the way that I live my life, I played my cricket, and what they have achieved over the last few years is absolutely exceptional. But I think that's basically what it comes down to, South African pride. And it's fantastic to be over in India now, and hopefully a lot of Indian people will get to know about this brand. And then last but not least, dirty sneakers really irritated me. It started irritating me, and I couldn't understand why no one didn't come up with anything like this. And I mean, it's been a struggle with cloths and towels always to keep my sneakers clean. So finally, there's a solution.
So AB, what is one of the oldest and the most precious sneaker that you own? Not price-wise, I'm going to ask you about the most expensive one, but the most precious that you want to save and preserve.
Yeah, my Sneaker Lab team will most definitely know this answer. I'm really good friends with the owners of the brand Freedom of Movement in South Africa. So they call it FOM sneakers.
Sure.
I have about 10 to 15 pairs of them. It's most definitely my favorites.
You're also a culture connector, and sneaker culture has grown over the past couple of years. So how would you be that connector between sports and style and lifestyle? What is the role that you intend to play?
I love for a sneaker to talk to the rest of the clothing that you wear on the day, color-wise, but also comfort. I'm a practical guy, so things must be comfy and make sense.
Yeah.
But I love just looking good. It makes me feel happy and confident about myself without going overboard and being obsessed with how good I look on the day.
Amongst cricketers, whom do you think has the strongest sneaker game?
I've got to think of Virat Kohli straight away. He loves his fashion. He's married to a Bollywood star, so he's a bit under pressure, big responsibility, and but he handles it really well. He loves his fashion. He doesn't always talk about it or try and show off. It's a natural thing. He likes to look good, from the hair to the beard and everything he wears, but particularly sneakers. He's got really good style with that.
And what about you? What is your personal favorite game day sneaker look? Is it bright or is it subtle? What's your style?
It depends if it's daytime or nighttime. Daytime, most often I would go for a white sneaker or off-white, faded white, whatever you want to call it. Once again, practical, comfortable. That also goes with that sporty look that I love, and I'm a sportsman. I'm never going to hide away from that fact. But yeah, generally just a nice white sneaker. I've got a nice pair of Air Jordans as well, a very special pair at home that I actually got from the Viacom team, the Geo Cinema team, as a gift. Fits me to the T, and I've been wearing that quite a bit as well. It's a limited edition one as well.
Wow,
they made it very clear.
Yeah, absolutely. Air Jordan is a part of every sneakerhead's wardrobe, including mine, by the way. But now let's move on from sneakers to cricket. Because you've played with Virat and played against Rohit, what is the kind of impact that these two cricketing icons have had on the Indian cricket?
Well, in the test format, they leave a huge legacy and very, very big shoes to fill. Talking about shoes, sneakers to fill. It'll be very tough for whoever comes in to try and sort of fill that void and try and be as good. And my advice to them would be don't try and do that. Just play your game and sort of find your role in the side. Virat and Rohit, they are irreplaceable, there's no doubt about it. But I mean, they are huge icons of Indian cricket. They've done so much for cricket in this country. And it's great to still have them around. They're not gone completely, just the test format.
Yeah. Now I have a fun question to ask you. Like, if it was a dance-off against Virat or Rohit, which dance-off do you think you'll win, AB?
No, I'll take Rohit on. Because
Not Virat.
I've tried with Virat, it doesn't work. I come second base there. Yeah.
Okay. Now we've seen that, you've mentioned how, going to the England series is going to be akin to a marathon for the young team that is under Shubman right now. What is the kind of mental endurance and resilience does, Shubman and all the other young boys have to build to play this tournament?
The good thing about the youngsters coming in, there's no scarring. I mean, yes, they're very inexperienced. It's a huge mountain to climb. The UK is tough, but they don't know that. And sometimes that's the best thing. What you don't know almost doesn't scare you, So I think that's their hope, and to sort of, it'll take a really good leader, and maybe from the coaching staff point of view, to bring that out in them and just to say, listen guys, the way you play in the IPL, you youngsters are fearless. Take that into the UK. It might be bold, but just go and free yourselves up and play your games. And stick to that. Don't try and fill Virat's shoes or Rohit's shoes. Don't think about all the bowlers of England and their batters and the crowd. Just go and express yourselves. And that could be a really good medicine for them. We'll see if they take that approach. I think it'll work well. But that's probably the biggest advantage they have.
Now, before we wrap, we are taking you to Storyboard18 Marquee Nights that happened this week in Gurugram, where Havas chairman and CEO Yannick Bolloré spoke about how they have grown in India through acquisitions. At the event, Bolloré emphasized Havas's positioning as a challenger brand, a trait he believes resonates with both clients and employees. He also reaffirmed the company's commitment to its acquisition-led growth strategy at a time when Havas and Publicis are reportedly in the final stages of bidding for a 70% stake in the homegrown agency Madison World. From lighthearted choices about French pastries to reflection on business legacies, Bolloré's responses painted a portrait of a leader grounded in authenticity and long-term vision. Here are a few rushes from the event. Given the number of consolidations that are happening in media and advertising, do you look at yourself, going forward as a consolidator, as probably a target? How would you look at yourself?
I mean, we consolidated a lot the independents in India. We grew through acquisitions. So we've made 5-6 acquisitions in India during the past 8 years. So we will continue to develop this acquisitive strategy. What's important for us is to create a unified culture at Havas, something that will differentiate Havas from its peers. I mean, I know our clients, I know what they like at Havas. I talked about the long-term strategy policy. Our clients love that we are the challenger brand. When you're the challenger, I mean, in this room, we have many challengers. It's giving us an extra boost of motivation. I even have some clients that are that are leaders in their industry who love to describe themselves as challengers, so they keep the energy in the morning. so they don't, just rest on what they have achieved. And I think this is what people like at Havas, this culture, this family culture, this creativity, this media, everything we have built in data and tech. So for now, I really believe that we have the great scale to compete, even maybe the best scale, I told someone earlier today, if I were a client, if I were a CEO of any company in India, I would choose Havas as a company to work with.
Yannick, what do you think of Prime Minister Narendra Modi? Have you met him?
No, I didn't have the chance to meet him, and he came to Paris last July. And I know my President Macron, has a great relationship with President Modi. What you have to know is the French people, they love Indian people. So we love everything about India, starting with the people, the food, so congrats. So of course, we also have a huge admiration for your leader. What he has been achieving those past years is just amazing. At least the people I'm interacting with in the business community are very, very supportive of your Prime Minister. So that's great.
If you do meet him, what is the discussion that you want to have? I want to know that, Yannick.
Honestly, I'm the CEO of a 23,000 people company, and sometimes I have trouble to find sleep at night. I don't know. I will ask him, how does he manage the pressure of being the leader of a 1.5 billion people country? That's something that I don't know how you deal with this kind of pressure.
What is one of the best lessons that you've learned from some of your Indian colleagues?
I would say the great lessons from India is patience. Patience. You know what I mean? Yeah, because you have to be patient. You have to build relationship on the long term. Yeah. But then it's paying off. 70% of our clients today have been with us with more than 10 years. The retention rate is very high. So when you manage to build such a great relationship, it's a relationship, maybe not for life, but for decades.